So I graduated from the University of Toronto in 1948 with a BA, and I had a scholarship, a fellowship at Queen's for an MA. Fortunately, in the meantime, while I was at Queen's, I had written a competition for entry into the administrative level of the public service. It was called, at the level was called the Junior Administrative Assistant. And this was a new démarche from the end of the war to recruit young university trained people into the lower echelon of the administration side of the public service, from which future managers and indeed deputy ministers and all kinds of important people emerged. Bob Bryce, who had supported this competition because he wanted to open up the public service to people with slightly higher educational levels, frankly. And I had a very good interview with Bob Bryce, and I was very promptly offered a job in the Treasury Board. And this absolutely appalled the Director of Estimates, who was a lovely, elderly, as I thought at that time, a gentleman. I heard later that he said, but the men will swear in front of her, she'll be offended, where will we put her? Mr. Massey and Father Levesque were commissioned in 1949 to conduct a royal commission on the national cultural development in the arts, letters and science. And that report led to the creation of the Canada Council and various, absolutely one of the vital pieces of paper that was produced in that era, and very greatly affects the way government attends to the arts in Canada ever since. When I dealt with the National Gallery, the most exciting thing I did was negotiate the purchase of the paintings from the Prince of Liechtenstein, which was a substantial purchase. The gallery had a very small amount of money given it each year to purchase paintings, so this was an extraordinary thing. And it was an interesting time. Harry McCurry, the then director of the National Gallery, really negotiated that himself, but he bought them through Agnew's in London, who were acting on behalf of the Prince. And you'll be interested to know that our cultural advisor to the National Gallery on the artistic merit of the pictures was Anthony Blunt. He was the keeper of the King's Picture, who was one of the Cambridge spies and later lost his knighthood. He advised the Government of Canada on the purchase of these paintings from the Prince of Liechtenstein. So that would have been an extraordinary thing that had to go through first to the Treasury Board and then go on to Cabinet. And I wrote the submission for the Treasury Board, and then I went on and drafted the gallery's submission to the Cabinet for the extra dollars to complete this purchase.
Well, there were paintings by a number of very important artists, for example, Bartel Beham, Hans Memling. There were two panels by Filippo Lippi, one painting by Rembrandt. So these are all very, important names in art history, and the quality of these works is exceptionally high. So, if we look at the collection of the National Gallery today, we still look at these purchases as some of the most magnificent and important that we've done over the course of our history, starting in 1880.
And so now when you go to gallery, you see these...
Oh, they're my favorites. I periodically take people to say, I bought that for the gallery, more or less.